With its quickly establishing board presence, flexible removal, card draw, life gain, and direct damage, Mono Black Demons is a jack-of-all-trades that plays control against aggro, and aggro against control. Where more monotonous decks can get stale, this varied experience keeps the climb fresh. The versatility of the core allows for seasoning to taste, adapting to different metagames all the way to the top. Also, you don't have to craft dual lands. Suitably central to this 2-in-1 strategy is Cecil, Dark Knight. Against aggro, he is a 1-mana removal or discard spell, arguably being the best possible turn 1 tempo play you can make. Effortlessly punching above his weight class, he takes out chocobos of any size, and if he isn't dealt with quickly enough, he locks the aggressive deck out of the game with his healing powers as the redeemed paladin. Sticking to the theme of the identity crisis, the Demon Wall is another transformative monster. He gums the board up right good and enables curving into the turn 3 Unholy Annex to get the life gain going. His sizable rear end means the aggressive player has to invest precious resources in getting rid of him, while his ability to turn on the Annex and turn off his own defender means he's pressure against defensive decks, especially the ones that give us map tokens with Get Lost. With how routinely I saw this wall crushing people, I can't be sure it's up to code. But I'm not a cop. There was even one game where I turned him on with Archenemy's charm and crashed in for a surprise 10 damage courtesy of the Bloodletter of Aclazotz. The walls really do be closing in. Since I've mentioned them both now, I am running the full 4 copies of both Bloodletter of Aclazotz and Unholy Annex. Annex might be the best card in the deck, doing everything if you've got a demon, and making a demon for you if you don't. When combined, these cards create a fast clock while providing the life and resources to wait it out, putting the onus on the other player to break the stranglehold before they suffocate, or straight up explode to non-combat life loss. Bloodletter! Obliterate! Having the 4 Bloodletters, it would be a waste not to have Unstoppable Slasher for the chance of the one-shot. On contact, Slasher makes them lose half their life, and Bloodletter doubles the life they lose, so the combo punches a hole in them, because 2 halves make a hole. In addition to being an unstoppable force, the Slasher is also an immovable object, returning to 1 life when destroyed. Without the right answer, he sucks up so much time and energy that the other guy won't have enough left in the tank to weather the rest of the storm. We seek to deny our opponents access to those answers with our Disruption package, Duress, and 3 copies of Deep-Cavern Bat. Deep-Cavern Bat can be ridiculous, throwing a wrench in the works of an otherwise good curve, punishing greedy keeps or mulligans, and even gaining valuable life if left alone. When we're looking to win with a barrage of 2 damage pings, every point can matter. Though the Bat gives the opponent a choice on how to deal with him, it still takes time, and at a point in the game where every mana spent can have a butterfly effect, forcing faster decks to permanently give up their tempo advantage while our slower cards take over the game. Even in Diamond, the odd all-in-hand can be so disrupted by the Bat that the opponent scoops on turn 2. Not only does the discard clear the way for our death-touching bodies to secure the board, routinely peeking at their hand gives us invaluable information about what the opponent is trying to do. When you know what they've got, you can create situations where it looks like you're walking into a trap, only to spring a trap of your own. In this game, I saw the Duty Beyond Death in hand ahead of time, walked into it, and they activated my trap card, sending their servandum on a one-way trip to the Shadow Realm. My last creature is Elegy Acolyte. Keeping with the theme, her absurd flexibility makes her good against everything. The sizable body and lifelink make her a nightmare for anything with red in it, while her 2 resource generation abilities tip the scales against other grindy decks, allowing Deep-Cavern Bat to leverage its flying to draw cards, and our Death Touchers to build robots from the bodies of their enemies. It is impossible to oversell this card. She does, however, share a weakness with the rest of my creatures. Having no value positive enter the battlefields or on-cast abilities, she doesn't do anything if she's removed right away, Which brings me to the topic of the metagame. This version of the deck is tuned for best of 1, looking to play some cheaper and faster cards to get tempo against the aggressive decks, while making sacrifices in the control matchup. That's why I've got Stab. It kills pretty much all the mice, elves, anime waifus, life gain beaters, hydras, chocobos, and blood witches. This is also why I'm only running 2 copies of Soulstone Sanctuary. Though it's great in my worst matchups, getting multiple copies of it early in the game, stopping me from playing Archenemy's Charm or the Bloodletter, only had to cost me a couple of rounds before I'd had enough. Climbing in best of 1 is more about having a great matchup against what's common than it is about being ready for anything. As such, I had the worst matchups into the creatureless control decks that run 9,000 board wipes and want to win with a mill spell. Against them, my creature removal is a dead draw, while Deadly Cover-Up and Ultima both cleanly answer the slasher by denying its graveyard trigger. Where I could occasionally get ahead against blue-black by sneaking an Annex under a counterspell, the white decks with Get Lost were able to blow it up, leaving me only with a map to the next game. Getting the better of these decks isn't impossible, but it often requires a barrage of disruption, immensely risky plays, and some good luck, though fortune tends to favor the bowler. The list that got me to Mythic is in the description, but it isn't what I played the whole time. Like I said before, the deck can be flexible and seasoned to taste. On the way to my current list, I played with Tiny Bones the Pickpocket, Gatekeeper of Malakir, Preacher of the Schism, and Scavenger Regent. They all definitely have their moments, but I found those moments to be too few and far between without meaningfully addressing the deck's weaknesses. Thanks for watching.